Okay, so we are now back with it again with the Dave Chappelle saga. This is part 8. I can't believe this thing has 8 parts so far. Like I said, I'm going to keep this thing going. As long as they want to keep it going, I'm going to keep going right along with them. Now, I have to say there might be some things that got left out in my saga of this whole thing, but I think I'm catching all the important stuff. And this one right here has to probably be one of the most important parts. And it's Dave Chappelle saying that he will meet with the trans community. However, he's going to do it on his own terms, and he's not bending the knee to any of their so-called demands. So what I did was I came across some audio, was actually video, but I'm going to play the audio for you of him basically talking about what he expects to come out of this meeting. So I'm gonna go ahead and because they had to break it up into a few parts because it's kind of lengthy. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that for you right now, and you can hear what he has to say.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to transgender employees at Netflix, and I refused. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we're speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore. I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, that's not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say. For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about. In summer 2020, when the whole world shut down, I was outside doing shows. My neighbor had a cornfield, and he let me throw shows there, and people came from all over the country. Some people came from around the world to see those shows. The best comedians on earth came to my home and broke bread with me, and we lived our lives. We found a way to keep moving forward. I made a whole documentary about it. The first night of those shows was a piece that some of you might have seen. It was called 846, and it dealt with the murder of George Floyd. This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film for me. God for Ted Sarandos at Netflix, he's the only one that didn't cancel me yet. To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience. But you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands. And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. must come, God forbid, to a place of my choosing at a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny. I desperately want people to see this movie. But I understand why investors would be nervous. Since nobody will touch it, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will make it available for all of you in 10 American cities, going on sale in the next few days. You will be able to see this movie in its entirety, and you can see what they're trying to obstruct you from seeing. And you can judge for yourself, but you cannot have this conversation and exclude my voice from it. That is only fair. You have to answer the question, am I canceled or not? Then let's go. Thank you very much, and good night.
Okay, so y'all just heard that right there, and that was the entire audio. I have to really give props to Dave Chappelle. Like, he's pulling out all the stops right now, and he literally has the ball in his court with no chance of the other side even being able to touch the damn ball to even try to score. So I'm going to try to give some takeaways that I got from that. One major one that stuck out to me is that they said that with this particular special, he said no movie studio was trying to touch it. This special right here literally got into the feelings of a lot of people. And he said Netflix was the only ones who wasn't quote unquote going to cancel Dave Chappelle. So they were the only ones who took a chance and a risk on this man when no other place was. But that just shows you right there that Netflix, or the people over there anyway, definitely vibe with Dave Chappelle, because they believe that Dave Chappelle did nothing wrong. Even though I kind of side eye a little bit what the co-CEO Ted Sarandos did. If you look at my one of my previous Dave Chappelle Told No Lies saga videos, which was a couple saga videos back. Yeah, I was still saying to myself, he shouldn't have said anything with that, because they're going to try to play off of that. But then again, who knows? The next part was when he said Hannah Gadsby is not funny. Now, if y'all don't know who excuse me, if y'all don't know who Hannah Gadsby is, she is a member of the Academy, and she had made some comments towards Netflix in so many words, trying to say that Netflix needs to hire more people who are trans, and their words were needs to hire more effing trans people, or something like that. Try to make these demands from a position that they know that they were not in. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, who are you to even say something like that? And I guess this Hannah Gadsby person is supposed to be a comedian. I never heard of them, but Dave Chappelle said that, just admit that this person isn't funny. But this person is definitely in Hall L. Like, they literally are trying to be a man their damn selves, but they're not really pulling it off. Another thing that's the big takeaway from this whole thing is the demands that Dave Chappelle has. He says, I am willing to meet, excuse me, it's 5:41 in the morning, me recording this video. He says, I'm willing to meet with the people in the trans community, but on my terms, not on yours. And that's how it's supposed to be done. Because if you allow them to control the narrative, they're going to spin everything. And knowing that community, they're going to do just that. So he says, we will meet at a time of my choosing, at the place of my choosing. So he's picking the time and the arena and the date of when all of this is going to happen. And the biggest thing he said is, you cannot come to this meeting if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. And I'm glad he said that, because a lot of the people who have this phony, fake ass outrage about this have not watched 1 minute of his special. All they're doing is going based off of what people are saying. That's why when people are going back at him and saying he said nothing like that, you just taking one part. That, you know what this remind me of? Remember when you had all those people come out against Nate Parker with Birth of a Nation talking about it was a rape scene in the movie? All they did was insinuate there was a rape scene in the movie, but there was no rape scene actually shown. And then you had people like Cancer Phillips tried to go with that actress Anjanae Ellis on Roland Martin's old show on TV1. And he didn't even try to interject and completely stop Cancer Phillips from looking like the donkey that she is, literally and figuratively, in front of this woman who worked on the movie. This reminds me of that. You making and passing all this judgment for something you have never seen. And like I said, I guarantee you most of them have not sat down and actually watched this special, but they're going based off of what they heard, not what they have seen. So I'm glad he threw that in there as well. But there were also some other takeaways. I can't really process every last one of the ones that he said, but those three right there definitely stuck out to me for sure. But we'll see what happens with this meeting, because a lot of people are going to want to know what this is. I bet people will be like, I wish I could be a fly on the wall at this meeting. And I wonder, will this meeting even actually happen? Because Dave Chappelle he's going to be in control of this, not them. He's letting them know that you're not going to get your way every single time you want your way. This is not Burger King. You cannot have it your way. Or is that McDonald's? I can't remember. It's one of those two fast food establishments who has that slogan. No, McDonald's was I'm loving it. So I think Burger King is have it your way. That's not happening. You're going to do this the way I want to, or there's going to be no meeting. And that's what you call controlling the narrative. And I'd rather be on Dave's narrative than theirs, because they've been acting a whole ass for the last month for nothing. For nothing. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the video on that note. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, and tell me what other takeaways y'all got from that, or the ones that I mentioned, because like I said, those are the ones that stuck out to me out of everything that I heard in his commentary. Oh, and by the way, y'all couldn't see it, but when he was done talking, he didn't do just a mic drop, because he did drop the mic. He did a mic toss. Like, he tossed that mic off to the stage and then walked off.